Hello there. Have you ever baked a pizza without an oven? Well, if not, this video is for you because that's exactly what we're going to do today. It is still hot outside and it's so nice to be able to come in, prepare a quick meal, but yet you're not heating up your kitchen. Your kitchen is still going to stay nice and cool. Before we get started with our recipe, if you're not following me on YouTube, you want to make sure to head over there, subscribe to my channel, click that bell so you'll never miss a recipe. Also, you can find me on Facebook, you can find me on TikTok, and you can find me on Instagram. Also, if you need the recipe, head over to cookitfor2.com. That's cookitfor2.com. All right, let's get started with the recipe. All right, the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to get our crust ready. And also, I wanted to say I am going to be using a cast iron skillet. You don't have to use a cast iron skillet. If you don't have one, that is perfectly fine. But if you do have one, you do want to pull it out and use it for this recipe because with the cast iron skillet, you're going to get a really good crisp crust on the outside, but you're going to have that chewy, soft inside. And also, you know, with me, if you've watched me long, I just think everything tastes better in a cast iron skillet. But again, if you don't have one, just pull out your favorite skillet and go to town. And if you don't have one and you would like to get one, I'll put you a link in the description below. Now, let's move on to the crust. What we're going to do, I have some avocado oil heating up in my cast iron skillet. And you want to do this very slowly because you don't want your skillet to get too hot. I already have my crust out of the package, but I just wanted to show you what kind of crust I'm using. It's just from the grocery store over like where the biscuits are. That's where you find it. Now you can make your own crust. You can go stop by a pizza place and get a crust. Just some kind of crust is what you need for this recipe. I have mine and I got it out of the can. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of roll it a little bit with my rolling pin and shape it a little bit because I'm going to put it into this skillet. It's not going to be perfect, but I do want to just give it a little bit more of a round shape, and we can kind of stretch it around once we get it in there. Another reason why it's good to use a cast iron is because they're so good about even cooking and also not sticking. So I think I'm going to let that go just a little bit longer. And then what we're going to do is put our crust in the skillet. And we're going to let that cook for a little bit before we flip it. And then we'll add our toppings. You can always just stick your hand right above your skillet if you're kind of not sure. Is it warm enough yet? Does it still need to go? I can tell that's getting pretty warm. So I'm going to go ahead and put my dough in because you don't want to put it in if the oil is not hot because you don't want it to just sit in cold oil. So now we're going to carefully place this dough in our skillet. Just kind of push it around. Be very careful because it's hot. But it's okay if it's not perfect. If you have some really thick places like I do right there, you might want to spread it out a little bit. Don't want any holes in it. All right, now we're just going to let this cook for a little while in the skillet on the stovetop here until it's got a good enough crust on it that we can flip it over. So basically all you need for this recipe is you need a cast iron skillet, a stovetop, some pizza crust, and some great toppings. The first thing that we're going to do when this crust is ready after we flipped it, I wanted to go ahead and get started sharing with y'all that. This is just a jarred pizza sauce. Again, make your own homemade if you want to, but this is jarred. And what I do is I add a little bit of garlic powder or fresh garlic. Anytime you can add something fresh or an herb into a jarred product, it always gives it this fresh flavor. So that's what I did, and I heated mine up just a little bit, let it cook a little bit because that also is going to give it more of a home-cooked flavor. So the pizza sauce is going to be the first ingredient that we use. The next thing is we are doing, let me wipe that oil off, we're doing pepperoni, cheese, onion, and some mushrooms. I opted for the turkey pepperoni, but feel free to do whatever you want to do. And I did save one little mushroom. I was going to show you. There's a big debate about mushrooms. Do you wash them? Do you not wash them? I have done both. I've washed them, and it really doesn't affect my recipe that much, but sometimes it can because mushrooms are very porous and they're going to hold water. So if you leave them in the water too long or you don't drain them good, it can cause issues. But what I like to do with my mushrooms is I just take them out of the package. I take a paper towel. You can make the paper towel a little damp if they're really bad. And you're just going to dust the dirt off. That's all you're going to do. Just dust the dirt off. Okay. And then you can slice it right up and no worries. This is one of the ways we like our pizza. We like it a whole lot of different ways. But today that's what I picked were these toppings. But I love this recipe because you get to pick your favorite toppings and make it the way that you like. Our crust, I think, is about ready to go ahead and give it a flip. Now, this can be a little tricky sometimes. Just be patient. Just take your time. Do it slow. Okay, we'll just flip it right over. And those spots that were kind of thick, now's an opportunity to go ahead and kind of press it all out to where your crust is nice and even. Look at that. Is that beautiful or what? Oh my goodness. Now the fun part. We are going to add our toppings. The first thing that we're going to add, I've turned my skillet all the way down to low. Okay, I'm going to add in our pizza sauce. I also think it would be a great idea to do barbecue sauce and do some chicken. Oh my goodness, we love barbecue chicken pizza. We're big pizza fans. So, all right, so there's some sauce. Now what we're going to do, I always like to put just a tad bit of cheese on the base. Now we're going to come back on the top and put more cheese, but I like to put a little bit of cheese on the base. All right, now I'm going to throw some pepperonis on there. Again, this is turkey pepperoni. Also, to let you know, the cheese is freshly grated. I do not like packaged cheese. It tastes so much better when you use a block of cheese and grate it yourself. And I have a wonderful Pampered Chef grater that is so quick and easy. I'll show it to you here in a little bit. But oh my gosh, the difference when you use fresh grated versus packaged cheese is just unreal. It's better for you too. All right, there's some pepperoni, and I'm going to go ahead and throw some mushrooms on there. And we like lots of topping. We want to be able to taste the toppings that we like in every bite. I'm dropping this, y'all, and my little dog Mosley, he's in doggy heaven because I dropped a pepperoni and I dropped a mushroom. He's having a little pizza of his own. Okay. All right, now here comes the onion. Put a little onion on there. Well, quite a bit of onion for us. We're onion fans. As long as we both eat it, we're doing good. All right, and now we are going to load it up with some cheese. Woo, you can never have too much cheese, right? Okay. And the trick to this is, I don't know if I mentioned, this is one more tool that you're going to need, a lid. What you want to do is you've got all your toppings on, got it down on low. You're going to cover that with a lid. And what this does is this creates an oven effect because that lid is going to hold all that heat in the pizza. And that's going to cause you to have a little oven effect up there. So we're just going to leave it covered for probably about 5 to 7 minutes. Because we don't want the crust to burn on the bottom, but we do want it to get good and done on the top and all of our toppings cooked. So we'll keep our eye on that. Okay, I told you I would show you my cheese grater, and I'm sorry, but it's dirty because I just used it to grate this cheese. But this is how, you keep it in the drawer, and it even comes with a guard because it is that sharp. Like, you don't want to put this in your drawer and just reach in there and grab, because that would not be good. So you always store it with the guard on it. Now, this is an old one, okay? There's a newer version of this, but it works the same. You just push in right there. That way you can open this as much as you want. You can lay it on top of a bowl, or you can, stand it up. That's usually how I use mine. And I've already grated my cheese, or I would show you, but this is so sharp. It's so quick. It's so easy that I grated that whole block of cheese in like 2 minutes, if it was even that long. So just to let you know, if you're not a fan of the packaged cheese either, or you want to give it a try, I have a link for this in the description, and you can get one, try it out, and once you do, you're going to love it. Even if you don't, if you still want to use your packaged cheese, there's going to be times when you need a grater, and this is an awesome one. It's time. Ready for the reveal. Here we go. Voila! Does that look delicious or what? Okay, I use 2 spatulas just, because like I don't really trust myself. So it just makes it a little easier for me. Gonna make sure we're all got all of our cheese loose. All right, and here we go. We're gonna transfer the pizza to our board here. This board, by the way, is amazing. I use this to serve charcuterie on it. I use it for a cutting board. I love to do pizzas on it, even putting the pizzas in the oven. I will drop a link for you in the description for this board, because this is definitely something great to have in your kitchen. All right, now I'm going to look at that. First of all, let's just stop just a minute and let's just enjoy the beauty of this pizza. Look at that. Oh my gosh. It smells so good. Okay. But yes, it smells good. It's time to eat. So I'm going to use my pizza cutter. Now, this right here is a Pampered Chef pizza cutter. Look at this. Awesome. This is so sharp that it comes with a guard too, so you don't cut yourself reaching in your drawer. I have had this pizza cutter for years, okay? What I love about it, you're like, it's a pizza cutter. But sometimes when you need to get up in corners, if you're cutting pizza or cobblers or whatever it is you're cutting, you could use this little side of it, and this is awesome. Or if you have a really tough crust, you can use that to cut your crust. So I really do love my pizza cutter. Like I said, I've had this for years. It's what I love about Pampered Chef. If you've watched me long, I'm a big Pampered Chef fan. So I have a link for you in the description for this pizza cutter too. If you're in the market for a new one, this is a good one. I'm going to hold that up just a minute. Oh my goodness. Look at that cheese. Kyle and I like to add a few little things to our pizza. When it's done, I like to take some fresh Parmesan cheese and grate on the top. Love us some cheese. And then we will do this later, but we're also going to put some banana. I like banana peppers. Kyle likes jalapeno peppers. And then we have some crushed red pepper flakes that we will sprinkle on our pizza before we eat it. This is what we've been waiting for. Be careful, babe. It's kind of hot.
Kind of hot. Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
Cheers.
What was that?
Oh, it is hot.
Mm. Mm.
Mm. Mm.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
That is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry I'm talking with food in my mouth, but you definitely going to want to try this recipe today or tonight. It is so good.
This is delicious.
Kitchen is still cool.
Mm-hmm.
No oven. So good. Thank you so much for watching, and the Lord bless you.
Wish you had some. Lord bless you.